Alexander Hayes owned a billion-dollar empire, commanded boardrooms with a single glance, and lived in a pristine penthouse where everything had its place. But every Christmas Eve, he sat alone, the same crystal glass of untouched wine, the same panoramic view of San Francisco's glittering skyline, the same emptiness that success couldn't fill. He'd built walls so high even he'd forgotten what it felt like to let someone in. At 43, Alex had transformed Hayes Technologies from a desperate dream into Silicon Valley's crown jewel. His face graced magazine covers, his name whispered in reverence through corporate hallways. Yet tonight, watching families gather through windows across the city, he remembered the cold December when his parents' car never returned home, and later, when his own truth cost him whatever family remained. "You're no son of mine," his uncle had said when Alex came out at 19. The door had slammed with such finality, echoing through years that followed. He'd slept in his car, worked night shifts repairing computers, swallowed pride instead of dinner. His first office had been a corner table at a 24-hour diner where sympathetic waitresses kept his coffee cup full while he coded until dawn. He'd learned that vulnerability was weakness. That trust was a luxury he couldn't afford, and especially after Daniel, the ex who'd stolen his prototype and nearly bankrupted his fledgling company with a smile that had once felt like home. The penthouse reflected what he'd become: efficient, beautiful in its coldness, utterly empty. The Christmas tree by the window was perfect in its symmetry, professionally decorated in silver and blue. No homemade ornaments, no memories hanging from its branches, just aesthetic precision that matched everything else in his life. The knock came at 8:17. No one visited Alex unannounced. He considered ignoring it, but something about its gentleness pulled him from his chair. When he opened the door, cold air rushed in carrying the scent of pine and cinnamon. A man stood on his doorstep, and behind him a little girl peeked out with curious eyes. His jacket was worn at the elbows, his hands rough and calloused. The girl, no more than 7, wore a coat too big for her and clutched a small wooden box wrapped in newspaper tied with red yarn that had clearly been used before. "I'm sorry to bother you," the man said, voice carrying a gentle confidence that spoke of command despite his humble appearance. "We live next door, the maintenance apartment. My daughter Lily wanted to share Christmas with our neighbors." Lily stepped forward, holding up the box. "Daddy says everyone should have something special on Christmas, even if they're alone." The words landed like a stone in still water. Even if they're alone. Was his solitude that obvious? Had his carefully constructed isolation become so transparent that even a child could see through it? "That's very kind," Alex heard himself say, fingers brushing against the package, feeling its unexpected weight. Something in the man's eyes, Marcus Bennett, he'd soon learn held not pity, but recognition, as though he too understood what it meant to build a life around absence. In that moment, what Alex couldn't know was that opening his door that night would shatter everything: his carefully constructed isolation, his protective walls, and the lie he'd been telling himself for 20 years. That success was enough, that loneliness was the price of ambition, that he didn't need anyone else, because sometimes the greatest gifts come wrapped in newspaper, carried by strangers who see through your defenses to the loneliness beneath. And sometimes, the most unexpected knocks lead to doors we never knew existed within ourselves. Follow Heart Stories for more moments where lives change with a single knock. Alex found himself inviting them in, a decision that surprised him more than his unexpected guests. His penthouse, all steel, glass, and calculated minimalism seemed suddenly stark against their warmth. The designer furniture and curated art collection that usually impressed visitors appeared sterile under Lily's wide-eyed gaze. She bounded in with childlike wonder, while Marcus entered with quiet dignity, his eyes taking in the space without judgment, but with a soldier's awareness of every exit and corner. "Hot chocolate," Alex offered, reaching for hospitality he hadn't practiced in years. In his immaculate kitchen, he moved mechanically, heating milk in a saucepan he'd never used. The cabinets revealed perfect stacks of matching mugs, none bearing chips or signs of favorite status. Marcus leaned against the counter, explaining they'd moved in 8 months ago, taking the maintenance apartment after he'd accepted the building's supervisor position following his military retirement. "It's nothing fancy, but it's home for now," he said, glancing at Lily, who was examining Alex's sparse Christmas decorations, a single artificial tree with precisely arranged ornaments. No stockings, no homemade touches. "Rachel, my late wife, always said home isn't about the square footage, just the love you put into it." "Your decorations look like a magazine, Lily announced, her honesty disarming as she traced a finger along the edge of Alex's spotless coffee table. "But they don't look like anyone touched them. Our tree at home has ornaments I made, even the ugly ones." Alex laughed, a sound that felt foreign in these walls. "You're very observant, and you're right, I didn't decorate it myself." As they settled with steaming mugs, Lily insisted Alex open his gift. His fingers, more accustomed to signing contracts than unwrapping presents, fumbled with the newspaper covering. Beneath it lay a wooden music box of extraordinary craftsmanship, cherry wood, with intricate leaf patterns carved into the lid, polished to a warm glow that seemed to capture light from within. Inside, lined with blue velvet, small compartments nestled like secrets. When opened, it played "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," the notes delicate and wistful. "Marcus made it," Lily announced proudly, chocolate mustache forming above her smile. "He makes beautiful things with his hands. He made one for Mom before she went to heaven, too." Marcus flushed slightly, embarrassed by the praise but not denying it. "It's just something I do in my spare time. I was a Marine for 12 years before Rachel passed. Woodworking helps me think." The shadow that crossed his face spoke volumes. His late wife had died of cancer 2 years ago. She always made sure we celebrated properly, even during deployments. Sent decorations to Afghanistan, if you can believe it. Made me promise to keep spreading magic in the world, especially after she was gone. Alex felt something crack inside his chest. This man he'd never spoken to had seen him in a way no one else had bothered to, a successful CEO carrying invisible wounds. The music box wasn't charity, it was recognition. Their conversation deepened, moving beyond pleasantries as the night stretched on. Alex learned Marcus had served under "Don't Ask, Don't Tell," hiding his bisexuality throughout his military career, marrying Rachel, who'd known and loved him completely. Marcus discovered Alex had built Hayes Technologies after being disowned for coming out, sleeping in his car while coding his first breakthrough program, turning rejection into empire. In the weeks that followed, Alex found reasons to visit Marcus's workshop, computer problems needing attention, building maintenance questions that could have been handled by phone. He attended Lily's school play, applauding louder than anyone when she delivered her single line as a space alien. Marcus invited him for homemade dinners that Alex found more satisfying than any five-star restaurant, spaghetti with sauce that simmered all day, chicken with rice that Lily helped prepare. The walls Alex had built didn't collapse all at once, they eroded gradually through shared stories. Through Lily's unfiltered affection when she began saving her art projects for Alex. Through Marcus's quiet strength that never demanded but simply offered presence. Without fanfare, Alex began contributing to their groceries with deliveries that appeared with notes claiming he'd ordered too much, gifting Lily books about space exploration, finding vintage woodworking tools for Marcus that he insisted had belonged to a great uncle. Because sometimes healing doesn't arrive through grand gestures, but through small moments of being truly seen, through hot chocolate served in mismatched mugs and music boxes that play forgotten melodies. The transformation happened so gradually that Alex hardly noticed it, his empty penthouse accumulating signs of life. Lily's drawings magnetized to his refrigerator, a real pine tree replacing his artificial one after she declared plastic trees couldn't possibly smell like Christmas, and worn leather work gloves occasionally forgotten on his kitchen counter. His schedule, once dominated by boardroom meetings, now included Tuesday math homework sessions with Lily and weekend trips to farmers markets with Marcus, who knew every vendor by name and taught Alex the art of choosing the perfect avocado. His executive team noticed the change meetings rescheduled around school events. The CEO, who once worked until midnight, now leaving promptly at 6, smiling at text messages that arrived during budget discussions. Catherine Sullivan, the eldest board member, caught his eye one afternoon as he rushed to exit. "Whoever they are," she said softly, "they're good for you. You look like you finally remember how to breathe." The pivotal moment came on a rain-soaked evening in February. Alex had stopped by Marcus's small workshop in the building's garage, ostensibly to discuss a renovation proposal for the lobby. The space was humble tools organized with military precision, sawdust creating a perpetual golden haze in the air, classic rock playing softly from an ancient radio. He found Marcus crafting a rocking chair, his hands moving with reverence over the grain of oak, fingers tracing patterns invisible to anyone else. This is what love looks like, Alex thought, watching those calloused fingers shape something beautiful from raw material. Not grand gestures or expensive gifts, but hands that build things meant to last, that transform the broken and rough into something of value, that create rather than consume. "You're staring," Marcus said, glancing up with a smile that creased the corners of his eyes. "I'm impressed," Alex admitted, moving closer, inhaling the scent of wood and varnish. "You put such care into everything you make." Marcus set down his sandpaper, turning to face him fully. The workshop's single overhead light cast shadows across his features, highlighting the silver at his temples, the laugh lines earned through years of finding joy despite loss. "I learned a long time ago that if you're going to do something, do it with your whole heart. Otherwise, what's the point? Is that how you live your life?" "Whole heart. All in?" Alex asked, suddenly aware of their proximity, of the warmth radiating between them. "It's the only way I know how," Marcus replied softly, "even when it's terrifying, even when you might lose everything again. Half measures just mean half living." They were talking about more than woodworking now, and they both knew it. Marcus reached up slowly, giving Alex time to retreat, and brushed his thumb across Alex's cheek. The touch was gentle, reverent, as though Alex were something precious and fragile. The kiss that followed was tender, tentative, a question being asked and answered in the same breath. When Marcus's fingers curled into Alex's shirt, holding on, something broke open inside Alex that had been locked away for far too long. Their careful romance blossomed over the following weeks, coffee shared in quiet mornings before Lily woke, hands finding each other during movie nights, conversations that stretched until dawn. Despite Marcus's initial concerns about Lily's response, those fears proved unfounded when, upon learning about their relationship over pancakes one Sunday morning, Lily simply grinned and asked, "Does this mean Alex will be at breakfast more often? Hannah at school has 2 dads, and they make the best pancakes. Will you both make me pancakes every day now?" The fragile happiness they'd constructed shattered one Saturday afternoon at Golden Gate Park. The day had been perfect sunshine warming the early spring air, Lily running ahead to feed ducks at the pond, Alex and Marcus following at a leisurely pace. A photographer captured them, Alex pushing Lily on a swing, Marcus beside them, their hands intertwined in a moment of unguarded affection. By Monday morning, the headline screamed across tech blogs, "Gay CEO of Hayes Technologies plays house with maintenance man and his daughter." The article was vicious, questioning Alex's judgment, implying Marcus was an opportunist, speculating whether Alex was trying to play father because he'd prioritized career over family. Accompanying photos showed them sharing a picnic, Marcus kissing Alex's temple, the three of them looking for all the world like a family as they laughed together on a park bench. William Reeves, Alex's CFO and longest-serving board member, called an emergency meeting. The boardroom that had once been Alex's sanctuary felt suddenly hostile as executives displayed plummeting stock values and concerned investor emails. The air conditioning seemed colder than usual, the leather chairs less comfortable, as though the space itself had turned against him. "The company has lost $30 million in market value since this morning," William stated coldly, silver hair catching the light as he leaned forward. We've worked too hard building Hayes Technologies' reputation as a serious industry leader. This abusive domestic arrangement makes you look impulsive and our company unstable. Our conservative investors in the Midwest are threatening to pull out entirely. Alex sat motionless, the words striking like physical blows. His hands, usually steady, trembled slightly against the polished table surface. My personal life has nothing to do with my ability to run this company. When you became the face of this company, everything about you became our business, William countered, tapping a manicured finger against the tablet displaying more unflattering headlines. We're not asking you to end the relationship, but we expect discretion. No more public outings. Keep your personal life private, or we'll be forced to reconsider your position. The ultimatum hung in the air like poison. Choose your career or your heart. The empire Alex had built with his own hands, or the family he never thought he'd find. Because sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought against others, but against the impossible choices we never thought we'd have to make between what we've built and what we've found, between security and happiness, between past achievements and future possibilities. The pressure mounted from all sides. While Alex navigated hostility from his board, Marcus received a devastating call from Lily's school principal. His daughter, usually vibrant and talkative, had come home with tears streaking her face, her bright spirit dimmed by classmates taunting her about having two gay dads and crude comments about her father cleaning toilets for a living. The teacher had intervened, but not before Lily had curled into herself, becoming silent in ways that terrified Marcus. That evening, Marcus stood in Alex's penthouse, rain-soaked and anguished. Lightning illuminated the skyline behind him in staccato flashes as he paced, hands working through his hair in frustration. "I can't do this to her," he said, voice breaking in a way Alex had never heard from this man who'd survived war zones and personal tragedy. "She's already lost her mother. I can't let her lose her childhood too. You should have seen her face. Alex, so small, so hurt." "So you'd rather lose what we've found?" Alex asked, desperate to hold on to the happiness they'd discovered. The music box that started everything sat on the coffee table between them, a reminder of how far they'd come. "You'd throw this away because some cruel kid's repeating their parents' bigotry. This isn't about us," Marcus countered, stopping to face Alex directly. "Everything I do, every choice I make has to be for Lily first. That's what being a parent means. Her needs before mine, always." His voice softened. "Before even what I want with you." "And what about what she needs?" Alex argued, closing the distance between them. "A father who teaches her to run from happiness because it's complicated, who shows her that love should be hidden. That's the lesson you want her to learn." "Don't you dare question my parenting," Marcus snapped, then immediately regretted his harshness. "I'm sorry, I don't know the right answer here. I only know she was crying today because of choices we made." The argument circled without resolution, each man trapped between impossible choices. Marcus left with shoulders bowed. No decisions made, but distance growing between them, like fog rolling between hills. The goodbye kiss held reservation where there had been certainty. 3 days of silence followed the longest they'd gone without speaking since Christmas. Alex buried himself in work, attempting to drown heartache in productivity. Reports blurred before his eyes, meetings passed in a haze of functional detachment. During a tense board meeting where William presented a rebranding strategy clearly designed to minimize Alex's public profile, his assistant burst in with a panic that silenced the room. "There's been an accident at the garage. Marcus has been taken to San Francisco General." Alex abandoned the meeting mid-sentence, ignoring William's protests about pending investment decisions that can't wait. The 20-minute drive felt eternal, his mind conjuring catastrophic scenarios with each red light. His driver broke multiple traffic laws at Alex's urging, the normally composed CEO now frantic with worry. At the hospital, the emergency desk refused him entry, family only. The words hit like a physical barrier, reminding Alex of all the legal protections his wealth couldn't buy. "But I am family," Alex insisted, voice rising as security guards glanced in his direction. His tailored suit and typical authority held no sway here. "Legally, you're not," the nurse replied flatly, unmoved by his desperation. "I can only allow immediate family spouse, parents, siblings, or children." It was Lily's voice that cut through the standoff. She'd been waiting with a social worker, her small face pale with fear, pink backpack clutched to her chest like armor. "He is our family," she cried, running to Alex, who lifted her automatically. "Please let him see Daddy. He's scared of hospitals since Mommy didn't come home." A bystander captured the moment on video, a distraught child clinging to a powerful CEO brought to his knees by love and fear. Security guards frozen in uncertainty, the social worker nodding permission. By morning, it had gone viral, the story spinning beyond their control. Hayes Tech CEO denied access to partner's hospital room, trended nationwide. Commentators weighing in on legal rights, healthcare access, and modern families. Marcus had suffered a serious concussion and broken arm when a hydraulic lift failed, sitting beside his hospital bed, holding his undamaged hand while Lily slept curled in a chair. Alex confronted realities he'd been avoiding. His company might control technological futures, but couldn't guarantee his right to hold his hand when it mattered most. "I'm tired of hiding," he whispered to Marcus's sleeping form. "I've spent my whole life either being pushed into shadows or hiding there voluntarily. I built a company that changed technology, but I've been afraid to change my own life." He pressed Marcus's knuckles to his lips. "I'm done living half a life, done letting fear drive my decisions, done pretending you and Lily aren't the best things that ever happened to me." When Marcus finally stirred, eyelids fluttering against the harsh hospital lighting, Alex made a promise. "I won't choose between you and my company. I'm going to fight for both, publicly and without apology. But I need to know you'll stand with me, not behind me or away from me, that we face whatever comes together." Marcus's eyes, though clouded with pain medication, held steady. "I've spent too many years hiding who I am, in the military, in my hometown, even with Rachel's parents who still won't speak to Lily because they blame me for their daughter loving a bisexual man." His fingers tightened around Alex's. "I won't teach Lily to do the same. Whatever you're planning, we're in this together. Because sometimes courage isn't found in grand battles, but in refusing to fight alone and standing together when the world demands you kneel separately. In recognizing that real strength lies not in walls built, but in bridges extended despite the risk of collapse." Alex stood before a sea of cameras, the Hayes Technologies logo gleaming behind him. Pride Month banners adorned the lobby, a decision that had scandalized William but delighted younger employees who had begun wearing rainbow pins in solidarity. At Alex's side stood Catherine Sullivan, a 70-year-old board member whose unexpected support had shifted the company's power dynamics when she revealed her lesbian daughter had been fighting similar battles for decades. "I've spent 20 years building Hayes Technologies," Alex began, his voice steady despite the cameras. "I created this company after being thrown out with nothing but my laptop and determination when I came out at 19. I've proven that integrity and authenticity drive innovation, not conformity. Not hiding, not diminishing ourselves to make others comfortable. Journalists lean forward, digital recorders capturing every word. In the front row, Marcus sat with Lily beside him, her pink backpack decorated with Love is Love stickers from Alex's employees. "I won't apologize for who I love," Alex continued without notes, speaking from a place deeper than prepared remarks. "Marcus Bennett is an extraordinary man who taught me that courage isn't just building a billion-dollar company, it's opening your heart when every instinct screams to protect it. It's showing up authentically even when the world has proven it might reject you for it." His voice grew stronger, more certain with each word. "To our investors concerned about stability, there is nothing more stable than a leader who no longer wastes energy hiding who they are. To our customers worried about our focus, I am more focused than ever on creating technology that connects rather than divides. The announcement of the Hope Haven Foundation followed a multi-million-dollar initiative to support LGBTQ+ youth rejected by their families, named for Rachel Bennett, who had taught Marcus that love creates ripples beyond our sight. No child should sleep in their car because their parents couldn't accept them. No teenager should contemplate ending their life because their community rejected them. We've lived those stories. Now we're changing the ending. The aftermath brought both backlash and breathtaking support. Several conservative investors withdrew. But for each departure, two progressive funds stepped forward, recognizing the authentic leadership that drove innovation. William resigned dramatically, while Catherine stepped into the CFO position with unexpected vigor, restructuring financial strategies with wisdom born from decades of watching her daughter navigate corporate hostility. Lily's school implemented anti-bullying workshops after Marcus shared their story at a parent-teacher meeting, his quiet dignity silencing even the most judgmental parents. The students who had once taunted Lily became her fiercest defenders after she stood before her class, explaining with 7-year-old clarity, "My mommy died but taught my daddy that love is the most important thing. Now I have 2 dads because love grows when you share it, not when you hide it." 6 months later, the penthouse had transformed completely. Marcus's craftsmanship warmed the once sterile space. Handmade bookshelves housed Lily's growing collection. A dining table large enough for gatherings replaced the minimalist piece Alex had never used, and photographs chronicled their evolving family. The music box that started everything held a place of honor on the mantel, alongside a frame containing a newspaper article about Hope Haven's first scholarship recipient on Christmas Eve, exactly 1 year after that first knock. Their home filled with guests George and Robert, an elderly gay couple from downstairs who'd been together 40 years, Catherine and her daughter's family, several Hayes employees who had nowhere else to go, and, most surprisingly, Marcus's parents, who had begun the slow journey toward acceptance after seeing their son nearly lose his life. As midnight approached and guests departed, Marcus led Alex to the balcony overlooking the city. Snow fell softly, a rare gift in San Francisco that transformed the urban landscape into something magical. From his pocket, Marcus produced a ring crafted from the same cherry wood as that first music box. "The real gift was never the box," Marcus said softly, snowflakes catching in his eyelashes. "It was the courage to open doors we're afraid to unlock, to let someone see us, really see us, even when we've convinced ourselves we're better off invisible." Alex's throat tightened as he looked at this man who had walked into his perfect, empty life and filled it with beautiful imperfection. "I spent years building walls to keep pain out, never realizing I was locking myself in." As they stood together, Lily joined them, slipping her small hands into theirs, completing their circle against the falling snow. "Are we getting married?" she asked with characteristic directness. "Hannah says when people have rings, they get married, and then nobody can tell them they aren't really family anymore." Marcus knelt to her level. "Is that something you'd want?" "Only if I can be the flower girl and the ring bearer," she declared with absolute certainty. Their laughter rose into the night, joining the snowflakes in their dance across the city, a city where 1 year before, a lonely CEO had opened his door to unexpected visitors and discovered that family isn't defined by blood, but by who sees you fully and loves you anyway, who chooses to stand beside you when staying would be easier than leaving, who builds bridges when others construct walls. Because sometimes the most powerful transformations begin with the smallest gestures, a handmade gift, a knock on a door, a choice to let someone in despite every reason not to. What walls have you built that might be keeping love out? Have you ever found family in unexpected places when traditional ones failed? Share your story in the comments below. Follow Heart Stories for more journeys of courage, love, and the families we choose when blood fails us.